Hey guys, Zach here again from EC at Nursing Education. I'm going to go and show you some of the things that I forgot to show you last week. Last week we went over Enfit when it came to the kangaroo feeding tube, and I showed you the end of it, but today I'm going to show you all the pieces of the new Enfit. So some of the pieces that we're going to be going through are you're going to have this special syringe here. This special syringe will actually have, if you look at the top, it's like a reverse type lure lock that will not fit in any IVs. Along with that kit, you will actually have a nice 500 cc barrel, so that way you can actually mix meds, free water, anything like that. So it's nice because that actually comes all in one unit. And if you look, I got an IV pull back there. You can actually put it all in the bag like so. And if you wanted to, you could hang it up. So that's a big plus with this system. Kind of gives you another place to have your hands free. So the whole reason we're doing this is to show you that peg tubes and G tubes, all that are going to be switching over to a new type of new style. So actually I brought a peg tube here. And if you'll notice, looking down the barrel, you'll see that's that reverse type lure lock. So if you look right straight down there, that is the only thing that could actually fit to be able to push, pull medication, things like that. Even if I tried, like I'm going to come over here, like if I had, something like this, like a Toomey, it's just, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way, but it just kind of reminds you that you can't do that. So it wants you to use something else. Okay. So you'll notice that it's got gastric, and then it's got this right here. So just to let you know, so there's a few different type of things to look at. Okay. So definitely the balloon. So just to kind of show you how this would connect in. So if I had that tube and I had like, we used to call them the Lopez valves. Um, Everything was like push fit. It's no longer going to be that way. So if I had my gastric tube, this is my, you know, Lopez valve. You can see that where the arrows are pointing, it's open. If there's no arrows pointing to it, it says off. Okay. What's nice is that you can actually hook this to your patient. Okay. Like so. And if you remember last week, I had this kangaroo tubing. Well, prior to this, conversion, the kangaroo tubing actually went to a push valve. Okay, and then this push valve would actually go into the feeding tube, and that's where it would go. But that's messy. It's unsafe, so they went with this reverse lure lock screw. So if you notice, it's secure. So what's nice about doing something like this is if it's inside of your patient, you can actually have the ability to push medications, push foods, but still have that ability to have like your feeding closed, so that way you could just restart it. And what's nice about that is you won't have to make sure things are put up, and then you won't have to make sure caps are on stuff because it's all connected at all times. So that is a great safety feature. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes in connected to it, so that's just your basic setup. So when we went to USP 800, when we were looking at like med safety and med dosages and things like that, we had these straws. They call them sampling straws. Well, sampling straws are used for a number of different things. Now, you'll notice because it's a reverse lure lock, it might be harder for you to actually pull up medications or even pull up water for that matter. You could use the multiple different sizes of a sampling straw to pull up what you need. But it was also developed, like I said, for that safety feature that if you had a multi-dose vial of medications, you could actually put this sterile straw in there, pull the med out, and you could multi-dose vial a single dose out of that and still keep it. Now, you probably noticed or didn't notice that with the actual connector itself, it doesn't have a way to basically keep itself clean. So they developed this item here, and I'm going to kind of show you a little bit more in detail as I get closer. It's a bristles on the inside with a rotation device. So if I actually have my three-way valve and I needed to clean the inside of it, I would literally place this end inside of here and then squeeze it down. And just by doing that, it fits perfectly in between there. So it gives me the ability to, once I swirl that, to clean it out. So they recommend that you clean all these connections at least Q12 hours, if not more, because once this gets stuck in there, it's over. It's very hard to keep it clean. You'll notice that the ports are a little bit smaller than the normal pipe tube. So keeping it clean, keeping it sanitary, things like that are going to be super important, or they'll have to pull it and put a whole new one. Okay. So the reason that's important is because back in October, they did a grand switch for the whole area, whole hospitals, basically in the United States, were switching over to this new system because of safety. But if you, for some reason, get somebody that has this pipe tube and you can't find the supplies, or you're unable, it just isn't looking familiar to you, something's not right, you can actually use this funnel with a cap here. You can see that cap right here. That actually screws on these Enfit connectors like this to make it secure, but it actually creates a funnel. So if I take, my normal syringe, it actually fits right in there, so I can still feed my patient, even if I don't have the supplies. What's nice about these kind of connections is because we might have supplies around that we need to use up. So make sure we're using those up before, right? So that's the key. We don't want to waste things. Okay. So with that being said, I just wanted to say that thank you for watching, like and subscribe. I will try to get more videos out there as I go. And I just wanted to make sure that you have all the information you need. All right, so to finish this off, I'm going to show you that the NG tubes, I got them right here, look slightly different as well. So if you look down, you're going to pull this NG tube out, and you're going to get a tag on there that actually says for enteral fluid only on the tag. So it's more just reminding you that you don't use IV medications. That's really what this is a push to do. And you'll notice that down there, you'll see a barrel, and it just slowly, if you just slide that right in there, you'll notice that now, if I undo this cap, I've created the Enfit system. So now it's the same deal. So if I'm giving medications, I can connect my solid lock. If I have to feed my patients, same thing. I can screw that in there, like so. So it's just a nice, solid connection. But you did notice that previously with our stock, it normally came with this reflex valve. Well, previous to this last shipment of items that we had, that was the same deal. So I wanted to show you that's super important that you grab this reflex valve. So this reflex valve is going to be a separate SKU. And what I will tell you is just create like a toolbox or something like that, just to have all this stuff together, because there's multiple different items. In our clean utility, we're going to have a toolbox that's actually titled Enfit all the way around it, blue to blue, so venting right there. So now there's nothing can seep out of there. So now even if you wanted to, like you needed to seal it, it's just big enough to where you can pull that Enfit connector off, and now you're perfectly ready for transport. This item is not a separate SKU. That's actually with the actual NG tubes as it is. I just taped it on the side like we normally do. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. So all right, guys, see you around. Let me know if there's any other videos you want to do. I'm probably gonna come up with something and I'll post it after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.